Hey, so I just talked about a couple of tools that require your setup. So pardon me to share my screen and uh, kind of. Right. Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
No, sir, it's not showing yet.
Okay.
I think I can see the screen.
Okay. Fine. So briefly, I'm going to go over this demo. And first of all, you need VS Code. So I'm just going to go over it as if this is my first time of actually installing these tools on my PC. So VS Code. So directly on Google, I just type VS Code and maybe add a word like install on it and search. And so the first result on the list here shows me download Visual Studio Code for Mac, Linux, Windows. So I just select that option and I'm brought to the page, the official download page of VS Code. So for Windows users, if you are actually using Windows and you plan to use Windows for your practice and development, you go ahead and click on this button and then you download it. All right. So the moment you click on this button now, the page comes up, and if you wait a bit, it pops up the installer. And so you can see it on my screen. That's why I ensure that I share the whole screen so that I'm not just sharing one thing. And so this installer now, if I actually select and I download it, then I have downloaded VS Code. All right. So for this demo sake, I'm just going to go ahead. I have another installer already downloaded. So I'm going to cancel out and I'll use that installer to actually demo to us. So let's assume you have downloaded it. Think it's less than 100, less than 200 megabytes, if I'm not mistaken. And then after you download it, you can actually find it in your downloads folder or wherever you selected to actually keep it. So I'm just going to search for VS Code. And if you can see my screen right now, you'll see that I have two installers here. All right. So I'm just going to proceed to attempt to install them, although I will not complete it because I already have a copy of it, as you can see here, what I'm using for my everyday development. All right, so I'll double click on this to install, and then I accept the agreement, and I go to next. And if I want a desktop icon, I select desktop icon. If I don't want it, I remove it, but that's the option you should uncheck at this point. Everything that you have here, just leave them checked. All right. And then you go to next, and then Once you are done and you've gotten to this page, it means everything is ready. Just click install, and it will go through the process of installing it on your machine, and you'll have a copy of Visual Studio Code. But if you look at the tabs of my pinned applications, you see that VS Code is here, which means I already have it installed as I use it every day for development. So I'm not going to continue with this installation. I'm just going to cancel out, and I'll say yes, I'm canceling out. And so with that, you would have VS Code installed on your system somewhere. So if it's Windows 10 or Windows 7, whichever Windows, just hit your Windows button or your Windows icon button and type VS Code. Assuming you want to have it in your most used apps or pinned apps to your taskbar, you just select on it and you do pin to taskbar. Now mine is already pinned to my taskbar. That's why it's asking me if I want to unpin it. But I do not want to do that, so I'm not going to continue. But if I didn't have it here, then let me just go ahead and remove it one moment. Let me unpin it, and then I can just type VS Code again, and then I'll be able to pin it to taskbar and then just move it to the position because it's my number one used app on any of my systems. So that's the process of installing VS Code. Now, after you have VS Code installed, there's another software that you need, which is actually going to help you to manage versioning. If you've not gotten to that part yet, you're definitely going to get to the content this week. If you've taken the time to actually go through the content for this week, then you would have stumbled upon version management and Git. And so I'll just go through the process of installing Git on your system. All right, so with the same fashion in which I got here, I'm going to go back to Google search, and I'm going to type Git bash. All right, so already it's giving me different search, but I just want Git bash so that depending on whichever system you want or you are using at the moment, you could actually select which one is for you. Now, this first result on the search, which says Git SCM, that's the one. You just select it and it will take you to a page where you can actually download a copy of Git and Git Bash. All right, so if you get to this page, the page automatically detects if you are using a Windows device, if you are using a Linux device, or if you are using a Mac device. All right, so it automatically just gives you the option to download here. Now, assuming if, I don't know if it ever makes mistake, but I've never experienced where it doesn't guess the system you are using, right? But let's assume even the system you are using, that's not the one you want to download for. Let's assume you just got on a Mac system, but you want to download the software for Windows. All right, so you can just select Windows, or in this case, now I'm using a Windows. Let's say I want to download for a Mac device. I'll just select that, okay, it's a Mac device I want to download it for. And this is the process for actually installing it on Mac. Of course, if you have a Mac system, then these commands will make more sense to you. But for us that are using a Windows device, all I'll do is I'll just go ahead and click on this. You see this part here where this something like desktop is, and then you see the 2.43.0, and that's the download button you would hit. So we hit this download button, and after a couple of seconds, the download, okay, yeah, it actually asks me to select if I am using a 32 bits Windows or a 64 bits window. If I want a standalone installer or I want the thumb drive. Basically what we want is this standalone installer. If your system is a 32 bits machine, you go ahead and select this. If it's a 64 bits machine, you go ahead and select this. Now, if you don't know what bit your machine is, you could just go to your file explorer. I think it should be anywhere that we can get the option of, is it the drive? C drive, where is C drive? C drive ought to be here. And then I'll right click on this and see its properties. And is that how to check this thing again? More info. Properties. No. If you check info and you get your system info, it should tell you if you are using a 64 bit or a 32 bit. Now, this is the general info of this machine I'm on, and you can see that I'm using a type of X64, which is 64 bit. Now, if you actually get on this page on your PC and it's a 32 bit, what you see here on this type is X32, which means that you are using a 32 bit based PC. So that's actually another way of checking it from the file explorer, but I seem to have forgotten it. Or if you check it from Windows 10, you might actually get it the way I just tried and didn't get on Windows 11. All right, so that's how you know which of them is yours. And then you download the appropriate one for you. For this PC, it's a 64 bit. So if I select Git 64 bit, it gives me a pop-up to actually download the software. And if I hit save right now, it's going to go ahead and save it, but I already have a copy of which I pre-downloaded for my own PC. So I'm going to do a little demo with that one. So I'm going to cancel out, but at this point, all you need to hit is save, and to save this download, this installer onto your PC, and you can run the downloader in the next steps that I'll show in a jiffy. All right, so I'm going to cancel that, and I'll go to my downloads again. Downloads, and I'm just going to search Git bash or Git, and it shows me what you would have downloaded if you had continued with that process I was showing you. You can see that I have different versions actually downloaded at this point. So anytime you get to that page where we just came from, you would have the latest version. All right, you have the latest version actually given to you here. So you don't need to have multiple ones like you have me downloading here. All right, so this is because I've actually done installation at multiple times of this software, and you can see that I'm actually filtering or ordering them by the names That's why we have all the different versions have been installed at different times here. All right. So all you need to do is double click on this again, and it will give you a pop-up notifying you that you are about to install something on your PC. So you select yes. You might not see that because pop-ups are not usually shown when you are actually sharing your screen. So you select yes from that pop-up, and then you get this message that says, um, oh, this is telling me that I currently have the latest version installed on my system. So it's asking me that, do I want to downgrade? I do not want to downgrade. So I'm going to cancel out of this process, but all you need to do is select yes, 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 and most of the options are already pre-selected for you in the process. So you just need to select next, 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 next. It has a lot of pages because Git needs a lot of permissions from your PC. So there are a lot of questions you need to answer, but all you just need is yes, 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 until you get to the page where it would ask you if you want an icon on your desktop. So if that's what you want, you select that you want an icon. If that's not what you want, then you just leave it unchecked and you move to the page where you would install it. Now, the moment you complete that installation, I don't know. Let me go ahead. I don't know. Maybe there are some things I need to explain from there. I think this version should be later. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can someone confirm if they are hearing me?
Yes, sir. We are with you, sir.
Okay, awesome. So I'm just going to go ahead and download this latest one so that I can go through the process with us, all right? So I'll save it to my downloads folder and just hit yes. And MTN should just be good right now because the past couple of days not been very good, but it seems this is good speed. So depending on the speed of your internet is super fast. This should be like a couple of seconds download. Now, the moment this is done, like mine is right at the moment, you go to it and double click on it. All right. Now, you get this pop-up that asks you if you want to run I don't know if you guys can see it in real time. You see a pop-up that is asking me that do
We
I
can
want,
see.
okay, awesome. So I just click, yeah, I just click run, and then my Windows tells me that something is about to make a change to my PC, and it might not be shown to you because I don't think Zoom actually captures these other pop-up, but I'm going to accept it as yes. When you see it on your Windows, you should just accept yes, and then it brings up the next pop-up. It tells me the general public information and license of it. All I need to do is click install here, and the installation goes on, and it installs um, everything that I need to manage version control. So now, before you install this software that we are installing now, if you go to I think what you would only have on your PC would be you would have something like terminal, your Windows terminal. So let's say we go to terminal. If you type a command such as git -v, now this command is telling your system to tell you or to output to you what version of Git is currently installed on your PC. All right. Now, if I hit enter after typing this command, what you generally get is that, okay, I think I'm supposed to use -v, git -v. So you get something like this error message that tells you that Git is unknown. For me now, it's telling me that the flag I'm using. So we call this flag in programming when you're adding an option to a command. So the option I need is -v to tell me the version. So you can see that it just spits out the version. It returns that I'm using Git version 2.4.0. Now, if you don't have Git installed and you actually run this command, you get that Git is an unknown command because you have not installed Git on your system, all right? So, but the moment you are done with the installation that we just went through, you should have something similar to this, which tells you the version number of the Git you are currently using. And yeah, so it means you now have Git on your system. And a lot of other commands that follows will really make sense to you. Now, when we are doing a brief demo on actually setting up a project that requires you to write HTML and CSS, you see why Git is important. I pray I remember to demo that to you. All right. So I'm just going to cancel out of this terminal right now because I just wanted to show you when you should know if Git is installed or not installed on your PC. All right, so that's about Git and Git Bash. And the single installation we ran from here installs both Git and Git Bash on your PC. All right, so it's just one installation that gives you access to the two of them. And then, so a lot of us have Zoom already. And I think Slack should be pretty basic. All you need to do is follow the trend in which I use in installing these other softwares. You can just go to your Google search and just type Slack install or installer. And if you hit this, it will give you the first one here is the one for Slack, which says download. So if you are using a Windows, there's a different page for it. If you are using a Mac, there's a different page for it. And if it's a Linux, it will also give you that option for a Linux device. All right. So that is that about it. I'm sure on your screen right now you are seeing that we have less than 10 minutes. All right. So before this session ends, I don't know if there is a question from the demo that we just did. Maybe you've attempted to install it and you are getting an error or something you don't understand before we go to demo the next thing on our list.
Sir, the installation, everything, I think it's okay, sir. It's okay.
Okay. All right. So was that Joshua or John? Sorry, I'm actually looking at another screen.
It's Joshua, sir. It's Joshua, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Joshua, for that feedback. Is it okay for everyone else?
Yes, sir. It's okay by me as well.
Okay, okay, awesome. So, like I said, if you've not actually done all of these installation and all, uh, when I go to demo the next thing on VS Code right now, I'm going to actually go into a little more things you need to add to your VS Code to make your environment look very similar to mine or any of the other developers that will be doing demo sessions for us. Okay, yeah, John, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. My question is, I believe we'll get this video after today's lecture, so that we can do more practice. That's the question I have to ask now.
Yes, 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 yes. I was about saying that the video would be available. We would upload every video of our sessions, of our live sessions on our YouTube channel. So you can always go back there and see for yourself how it was done, something was done, so that if you are having any issues, you could resolve it. All right. And even if maybe when I was doing the demo here, the issue you're having, I didn't have it, you can always bring the question and let's attempt to answer it together. Okay? So with that out of the way, if there is no other question in the next 1 minute, we should end this particular um, session and then come back for another to demo how to actually set up your VS Code and set up a very basic HTML and CSS project.
No question, sir. You can write down, sir.
Okay. All right. With that said, I'm going to end the call. Just use the old link that we have. After this call ends, we'll have another 40 minutes, and then we can use that to continue the demo. All right. See you.